Grace, and right now I'm going to be doing my May reading wrap-up. I've read 4 books in the month of May, and they were all new releases. They were great, and I'm very excited to talk about them. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first book that I read this month was none other than one of my second most anticipated release of this year, and that is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I've been sitting here for like 3 minutes trying to figure out what to say for this book, but I don't know how to formulate into words how much I love this series and especially this book. My favorite is still probably The Dream Thieves, which is the second book, but this is probably my second favorite. It was fantastic and beautiful, and I love Blue, and I love Gansey, and I love Ronan, and I freaking love the Gray Man, and just how intricate and complex and different the whole story, world, and characters are. I love this series so much, I literally have it tattooed onto my thigh, okay? So I am in deep with this cycle. So I can't really describe to you how much I love this book, but just know that I loved it. And if you have not picked up this the Raven Cycle, please do, because it'll change your life for the better, and you'll be finding all this fan art and sticking it on your wall and just having a great time. So it's amazing, it's fantastic. Thank you so much, Maggie Stiefvater, for giving all of us this amazing series that we can keep with us forever, because I'm keeping it with me forever. I always think about it all the time. It was just fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. The next book that I read was Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley, which I was sent in exchange for an honest review by Penguin Teen. So thank you again, Penguin, for sending me this. And I've done a whole separate review. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. But I really enjoyed this. It was short and sweet. It was a wonderful YA coming-of-age novel, which didn't have all those like cliche tropes that they usually do. If you want to read a book that deals with mental illness in a great way, I would definitely pick this up. Again, I will link my review down below for more thoughts, but this was really good. And also, this is set in the Inland Empire, and I live in somewhere in the Inland Empire, so it was really cool to, like, I don't know, I felt like a connection with this book. So yes, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Next book that I read, I was also sent by Penguin Teen in exchange for an honest review, and this was one of my most anticipated releases of this year, because last year The Wrath and the Dawn was one of my favorite books of that year, 2015, and that is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. And if you didn't know, The Wrath and the Dawn is a retelling of 1001 Nights. It was so beautiful, and this was even better, which I was so scared it wasn't going to be, because The Wrath and the Dawn was phenomenal, so I was like, no. And I also thought this was going to be a trilogy. It's not, it's a duology, so cherish this book, because I did not know it was a duology until like halfway through the book. So just cherish this book and just like read it like it's delicious cake, or you know, it's kind of hard to read this slow because you can't, it's just addicting. But this was fantastic, and Shazi and Khalid, I think that's his name, they have the most beautiful relationship that I've seriously ever read in a YA series, because they, you know, they may not agree with what, you know, one another is doing, but they respect their decisions, and they'll support their decisions, and they'll stand by them no matter what, even if they don't agree with them. And it was just so beautiful. And also another thing that I love about this book is when they describe food, the food that they eat, I'm just like, I need this food. Where can I find this food? It was so delicious, and the imagery and the writing is just so lush and beautiful. And I can't get over this duology. It was so fantastic, and just a breath of fresh air that you should read, definitely. Stop it, phone. But if you have not read this duology, please do, because it's just fantastic. And again, 5 out of 5 stars. The last book that I've read has kind of put me in a reading slump, and it is just the talk of the booktube, and rightfully so, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which was the first book in this series. Don't know, it's like, gonna be like a trilogy, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I did see the problems that people had with it though, and the ending of that book, I didn't like it because I could see hinting of a love triangle, which I was like, I hate this Reese guy, which I thought his name was Rice, but it's not, it's Reese. And I was like, I hate him so much. But then this book happened, and the roles were reversed. I hate Tamlin. Now everyone hates Tamlin. Tamlin should just go away. Rysand or Rysand, whatever. I call him Rysand because I feel like it sounds better. He's amazing. He's one of my all-time favorite characters in general now, because he's been through so much, and he's just so complex and cool and funny, and he wants the best for Feyre, and he knows that she has the ability to do whatever she wants in life and to never like hold her back. And you know, there's some people in the world that want to hold her back, okay? And that's just not gonna happen. This book was also extremely steamy. So steamy, like was not expecting that. I was reading this at work and I was just like, maybe I shouldn't read this at work. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but just maybe not read it in public because this is like a private reading time, okay? It was one of those books where while you're reading it, you're so super addicted, you're like, this is great, you end the book, and when you end the book, the more great it is because you have time to reflect and see all of like the things and the threads that connect with the storyline, and you see kind of what she's going for and how Sarah is like putting it all together, if that makes sense. It's just really honestly insane because I just don't understand. I loved Feyre a lot more than I did in the first book. She was annoying in the beginning, but you know what was happening if you've read this book. But it was fantastic and I cannot wait for the next book. Gotta wait a long time, we all gotta wait a long time, but we can still look up tags on Tumblr about Rhysand, whatever his name is, but he's amazing. So I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I originally gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars because of the character inconsistencies, but as I ended the book, the more it made sense. So I accepted it, I'm just like, whatever. And I think the best thing about Sarah J Maas's books is they are a little bit messy, they're a little bit complicated, they're a little bit like, hey, maybe that doesn't make sense, but they're still amazing. And I don't understand how she does this, writing this series along with another epic series, the Throne of Glass series, and just to make them totally individual from each other. It's fantastic, and I think she has a lot of talent, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. So those were all the books that I read in the month of May. I was very happy with what I read because I loved all of them, and I can't choose what my favorite book of the month was because all of these books I absolutely loved, and I absolutely loved in different ways, so I can't choose, but they were all so fantastic. And if you've read any of these and you want to tell me what you think of them, comment down below, or what your favorite read of the month was. I would love to know, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.